God, that smell. All right, guys, I got my work cut out for me on this one. Just some sort of blower fan. I don't know what the fuck is on this thing. What kind of, it looks like cement or some shit. But I'm just gonna do my best. I'm gonna sandblast this because that's the only way I can see cleaning this thing quickly. But I don't know. Definitely got my work cut out. All right, so unfortunately that did not work out as well as I'd hoped. So I'm starting to realize that this thing is just way out of fucking whack. It's not only twisted out this way, but it's also, if you look, it's offset. Get this top piece off, make new fins, get all these out, and just weld them in. But the problem is I don't think I can get my hand in there with the TIG torch and the filler rod to weld that all the way out. And I don't think I can get the spool gun all the way in there. I'm gonna test with the spool gun, see how that goes.
Something had to have got into it to fucking snap it off. That's the fucking problem.
It could just be old, metal fatigue.
Oh.
Shit gets old and wears out. This thing's like fucking 50 years old.
No, it ain't.
Subscribe! I'm gonna cut all the rivets off the top of this thing and then try to weld it back together. I really don't fucking think this is gonna work. Just because of the condition of the aluminum, how much welding needs to be done, how much prep needs to be done. I'm gonna go ahead and get these blades made at AMAX, a metal shop right around the corner. And if they can, I'm gonna get the rivets and just rivet it back together. I don't even know what this is. Maybe cement? I don't know. But it's definitely in this metal. I'm not even gonna try to weld this. That's just gonna be a fucking nightmare. My father doesn't realize how difficult it is to weld aluminum. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, like I said, take this piece right over to AMAX, have them break it, and then I'll align everything, clamp it together, and then drill my holes and put one in at a time, riveting them a little as I go. And that hopefully that will keep everything square and straight. Basically what I did was I nipped all the tops of the rivets off, and I'm just gonna go around, smack them out, and then drop the clips that are still attached, like that. Hopefully, my boy Paul at AMAX, hopefully he's there in the morning. I can catch him right at 7 a.m. before they start work. Hopefully he'll just say, yeah, I can do that right now for you. I mean, again, that's a big if, but luckily your boy has friends. All right, guys, I just left AMAX. I got my pieces broke. Man, what a great group of people. There's the shop back there. I just love those guys. I mean, I was trying to pay him and he told me he wouldn't take the money. I walked in there and he goes, you know, we're 2 weeks out, but I'll do it for you anyway. I could not find that style rivet. So what we're gonna go ahead and try to do is get these blades lined back up, and we're gonna go ahead and try to just weld right through that hole and into the blade. And I went ahead and gave my dad a call and said, hey, is that okay? And he said, yeah, go for it. So we're gonna try it. I'm gonna do one, and if that doesn't work out and it's not really holding all the way I want it to, then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep looking for rivets. Whenever you pick stuff up and you get it press braked, you need to go ahead and acetone everything down. You really should do that with your aluminum anyway. Hopefully it goes back together smooth. So you see, you don't want to get all that up in your weld. Okay. God, I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's disgusting. Oh my God, that smell. All right, because the amount of time that took me, and I'm not really thinking that I got down in there and actually bit the bottom metal, I'm thinking this is gonna be a spool gun application. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna set the spool gun up, and then we're gonna try that and see how that works out. it's not lining up. I don't know what I did wrong. I've tried to twist it every which way. Everything is evenly spaced and everything up there is lining up. I really have no idea what the fuck is going wrong. So what I'm gonna do is just wire wheel this whole fucking thing down. It's what I've been doing. And I'm gonna go ahead and just weld it where it lays. Alright guys, so there is one of the better welds, but as you can see there's some pretty shitty ones on there. They kept pissing and spitting at me while I was trying to push the spool gun in there, is because there's a lot of contaminants in this aluminum. I would have liked to have TIG welded, no way for me to really get my hand back in there, so spool gun it was. I'm sure it'll hold, I'm sure it'll be fine, but you know, this was the best I could do. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, we gotta figure out where the fuck this blower is and then repair it. All right guys, so here is what we're fixing. I'm gonna go ahead and weld the crack up that is on this side, patch that hole, and go ahead and weld this crack right here. And then they're gonna go ahead and get the fan back into it. So at this yard, there's a really old repair I did. This was like one of my very first heavy equipment repairs, probably 8 years ago, I don't know, but it's still holding on. So they split this all the way straight down the middle on this loader, and I welded it up, and it's still holding on. I'm pretty proud of that. I mean, especially 8 years ago, it wasn't a very good weld. I mean, let's go look at that again. You can see I made a bunch of mistakes that I wouldn't make these days. A lot of undercut. Yeah, you can see some undercut. Way too big of a weave. I mean, just a lot of mistakes, but it's held on for 8 years. You might be thinking to yourself, Anthony, did I just watch you run 70-18 downhill? You're damn straight. Because this is not a structural application. This is just to seal a hole, all right? And there's no way for me to weld this thing uphill. I would just blow right the fuck through it. Usually I'd run 60-10, but 70-18 is what I got in my pocket. And if you whip and push fast enough, you can stay past that slag. But again, it's not a structural weld, so it doesn't really matter. Looks like I'm gonna have to Texas TIG it. right, so here's some of the welds I did. Definitely not perfect by any means, but when you're welding rusty shit, it's kind of how it goes. And as you can see, when I have a little more metal, I can get a pretty decent bead in there. I didn't go crazy because this thing is just super thin, super fucked up. So yeah, you can see where I started blowing through. I had a Texas TIG it, and then down here where I had enough metal, you know, you can get a nice clean weld. And of course the old ratchet strap trick. The best part about this new compressor is this hair drying feature.